Hello and welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Brugman from the City of Bryan's Communications Department.
And I'm Sandy Ferris with Bryan ISD. Today we're going to tell you about a group of students who are benefiting from the mentoring program to be college ready, and then we'll show you how Bryan High School newspaper staff is using technology to become more relevant.
And we'll give you an update on a couple of events that happened at the beginning of October, but before we get to all those stories, we'll give you a full recap of the City of Bryan's and the City of Bryan Police Department's National Night Out festivities.
With 31 registered parties, National Night Out was once again an excellent success for the city and the Bryan Police Department. Of course, the goal of National Night Out is for neighbors to get out and meet each other, and members of the Bryan Police and Fire Departments, as well as elected officials, to get out and meet the residents as well. It's at these functions across town that a bond is formed and strengthened between the PD and the residents they serve.
National Night Out represents a community and a police partnership, and that's what policing is all about, a partnership between us and the community.
Single-member District 1 Councilman Richard Cortez agrees. One of his many stops during National Night Out was at the Angels Gate subdivision party, where he was joined by Mayor Jason Bianski and other local representatives.
You can see it brings the community together, and we're trying to get everybody involved in the community interest, and this is one way to communicate with them, show them what we have, what we can offer them. The police department's here, and Representative Fred Brown is all here to show them that we are interested in their problems in their community, our community.
This year, National Night Out was held on October 5th, but really the occasion had several different events. On Saturday, September 25th, officers from the PD and members of the fire department held a kickoff event at the Bryan Target, which participates as the primary sponsor of National Night Out. All the local police units were represented at the Bryan Target, as well as state groups. Then, during the week before National Night Out, representatives from Bryan and College Station, Brazos County, and Texas A&M met at the county offices to read proclamations designating October 5th as National Night Out Day. National Night Out is over until 2011, but you can count on the Bryan PD to continue nurturing relationships with the community.
Every day, I'm here, okay? The neighborhood enforcement team is here for you. The Bryan Police Department is here for you. So contact us. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhoods so we can fix problems for you.
Well, Alan, it looks like the decision to move that to a cooler time of the year really has worked out well.
Yeah, they had a great turnout and the weather was perfect on Tuesday evening.
Well, Gear Up is a grant-funded program designed to follow a group of students as they move through high school and to ensure that they are college ready by the time they graduate.
Gear Up stands for Gaining Early Awareness and Readiness for Undergraduate Programs. It is a grant that we received through Texas A&M University in partnership with Bryan ISD. The grant comes from the Department of Education. With Gear Up, we are servicing the students who are the class of 2014. We started working with the students when they were in the 7th grade, and we follow them until they graduate from high school. Currently, our students are in the 9th grade at Bryan High School, Rudder High School, Bryan Collegiate High School, and the Lamar School. We're very excited this year that we're going to have parent centers for our parents to come and visit and also use as they need. We have a parent center at Bryan High School and a parent center at Bryan Collegiate High School. Our parent center at Rudder High School is also their library. At the parent centers, we will provide information that parents need to help their student, but we also will provide information for the parent to help themselves. We have computers at these locations for the parents to use as they help their child. Perhaps they're looking at the student's grades or attendance, but perhaps a parent would like to go back to college, or the parent is looking for new career opportunities, and we want to help the parents by providing the resources they may need and direct them to the right locations. In the 8th grade last year, our students were able to visit 8 different colleges and universities. We provided trips during the school day, but most of them were on Saturdays. And the students visited lots of universities in the area: Texas A&M University, the University of Texas, Sam Houston, Prairie View. Our students also went to Texas State and Baylor. They had lots of opportunities and they really enjoyed their trips. And for most of those students, this is the first time on a college campus. Our grant has also provided the resources for the students to start preparing themselves for standardized college testing that's required in their junior and senior year as they prepare for college. An important part of the grant is that we're required to seek partnerships in the community for the grant and to provide resources to our students. We are very fortunate that we have partnerships at Texas A&M, but also in our local community with the Hispanic Forum and other organizations, for example, Sylvan Learning Center. These local partners help provide different activities for our students and also go a little bit further in the grant and do some things that we are not able to do, but they can do as community members. We are always seeking new community partners who can help our students be more successful. Each partner volunteers their services as needed, and so we're excited for these opportunities that we have to work with our partners and help our community grow and help our students be successful.
What I try to do with parents and students is help educate them on what they need to do from a very young age, starting in the 7th grade and now on to the 9th grade year, to be prepared so that when the time comes they're ready and they know what to do to help their students get in. And so I really like that it's a parent-student partnership and it's not me talking to the students, but they go home and talk about, okay, well, the guy from A&M said this and we need to do this. And so it really helps out in the long run to help both graduate these students and then get them in higher education.
Well, Cindy, that's a great program that gives a lot of personalized information for those students. How much longer is the grant going to pay for the program?
Well, that group of students just started the 9th grade, and we're going to follow them all the way to when they graduate in 2014, so just about 4 more years.
We haven't had a Be Green and Bryan segment here on Bryan Living and Learning for quite some time, but we're going to end that in this episode as we show you a downtown business owner who's taking advantage of BTU's commercial solar rebate program.
BTU customer Brent Hairston recently had this solar energy system installed on the roof of his downtown Bryan building. But he's no stranger to solar energy, as he's had a residential system on his house for a couple of years, and the results have been wonderful.
In the winter months, as a matter of fact, this last December, January, February, March, our highest utility bill at our home was $25, and we had 1 month where our bill was $0.
Hairston is currently remodeling his building on Bryan Avenue to feature 2 retail establishments at street level and apartment lofts upstairs. And he's taking advantage of BTU's commercial solar rebate program to save some serious bucks on his solar system. In fact, he is qualified for the max rebate amount.
They have a potential rebate of $20,000 maximum. It's really based on a per watt basis. At $2.25 per watt, they have the opportunity to take advantage of 9 kW, and that'll put them just under $20,000.
The idea that you could do something that's efficient, that makes financial sense, and is friendly to the environment, it's just a winning solution for everybody.
He also hopes to have started a trend in downtown, saying that solar energy is ideal for those buildings.
These roofs in downtown are better suited for solar than most of our houses are because they have large flat areas. And I would encourage anybody who has any desire to look into the idea of putting a solar system on their downtown properties to really consider it.
BTU would be happy to speak with any business, regardless of their size, to perform an analysis and see how solar would work for them.
This opportunity as a solar PV rebate program allows you to make a choice about a renewable energy source for you and your customers and your business.
It's something that Hairston wouldn't have started if it wasn't for BTU and their rebates.
There's no question that I would not be doing this if it were not for BTU's involvement in the rebate program. The BTU rebate has everything to do with why we decided to do it not only on our home but also on this building.
To get in touch with Hairston about his lofts, call him at 575-5637. And for more information on BTU's commercial solar rebate program, call them at 821-5715.
Well, Alan, I'm glad to see Be Green and Bryan is back.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've done a Be Green and Bryan segment, but we're going to keep our eyes and ears open, and hopefully we'll have more of those features on future episodes.
Well, I recently spent some time at Bryan High School in the journalism classroom to learn how the newspaper staff is using technology to expand their coverage.
What do y'all do, what do your students do to make the newspaper relevant and interesting to the students today?
Well, we're working on addressing that this year. And it's not that journalism is becoming irrelevant, but it's how it's being delivered is what's becoming irrelevant. Because actually the search for information is increasing, the need for that and the want for that. And so what we're doing this year is it's already on our website, but it's just the PDFs. And so what we're changing it to is a feed. And it'll come in as we finished articles, those will go into the website. Students can subscribe to an RSS feed and be able to get those instantly through an RSS reader like Google Reader and the other ones. We'll also have a Twitter feed. Then students can go in and comment on these articles. It will be where their comments will go into a queue first and I have to approve them, but they'll be able to make comments on the stories. We also have a Facebook page, and we're trying to get as many students as possible to subscribe to it, and we're hoping that they'll start suggesting things that they want us to cover, because the biggest thing with the way news is going in social media, I think social media as it's known will go away and it'll just become media, and all media will be social. Because the way people look for news now is it's personalized. It's whatever they want to search for. So if we can have them comment on what news they want to see, what they want to see covered, and then we respond to that instead of a group of 10 students deciding what the news is, an entire student body deciding what they want to see as the news, I think that'll reach our student body more and have a more interactive relationship between the staff and the student body.
So what you're doing by putting it online this way, it's exactly the way the local newspaper, the Houston Chronicle, all of the major newspapers handle their news sites as well. I mean, you can find updated stories throughout the day, so that's a possibility for y'all as well.
Right, and what we're going to do after we get the first issue out, instead of waiting issue by issue to update the site, as each story is complete, that new story will go up and go out. And the site is completely searchable. So if we did an article on a specific student, you could go to the site, type in that student's name, and it would pull up that student's article. So you don't have to look through the entire paper. The pages still will be there as PDFs if somebody just wants to see the entire paper, but it'll feed in more like a blog, and the articles will be listed, and you can search by news or feature or just the most recent. And so the news will be provided to students in a much more streamlined, much more current way.
Well, Sandy, you spent a little time over in the journalism department.
I actually did. For 20 years I was the Bryan High School journalism teacher and saw a lot of advancement in technology during that time, so I'm really glad to see that today's staffs are continuing that.
Next, we'll show you a little highlight package of 3 different events that recently happened here in the city of Bryan. We'll show you highlights from October's First Friday, from BTU's Power Pedal, and from a bunch of policemen washing a fire truck.
October's First Friday in downtown Bryan was a combination of the Pink and Red Zone for Women's Health in Sale Park, a green event near the Palace Theater, and the Arts Step. And early on the morning of October 2nd at Lake Bryan, competitors gathered to compete in BTU's Power Pedal. There was a duathlon for runners and bikers, as well as a 10K and a 5K. Proceeds went to Twin City Mission's Domestic Violence Services Division. And these police officers finally made good on a bet when they washed a fire truck after losing to the fire department at the employee golf tournament this spring.
Before we leave you today, we want to remind you of an event coming up on October 23rd. It's the Chuck Norris Kick It Up for Kids event, which is benefiting the character education and martial arts program we have in place at Bryan ISD. This Western-themed evening will have rodeo events produced by Sammy Catalina and a Texas country concert later that evening. Tickets are on sale now at www.kick-start.org. We hope you'll join us.
Well, Sandy, that sounds like a great event.
We think it will be, and we're hoping for a big turnout that night. Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman. Thanks for watching. And don't